Oh. Sarvadharmasthapakatvam sarvadharmaswarupakaha acharyanam mahacharyo Ramakrishnaya te namaha. O establisher of all the faiths, embodiment of all the religions, the greatest teacher among all the teachers, O Sri Ramakrishna, my salutations to you. Today we are going way back in the history. The date is August 5th, 1882. And a very significant day, for two great personalities have met on this day. Sri Ramakrishna has come to visit Pandit Chandra Vidyasagar. Pandit Chandra Vidyasagar, the great scholar, the great Pandit. And Sri Ramakrishna, the source of all knowledge for that matter, the embodiment of all knowledge. And this wonderful meeting of the two wonderful children of the Lord. And after the initial pleasantries, Sri Ramakrishna tells Pandit Vidyasagar, Chandra Vidyasagar, that I am so fortunate today. Today I have come to meet the ocean. Sagar. Vidyasagar is literally translated, it is ocean of knowledge. And Pandit Chandra cuts a joke on it, and then he tells Sri Ramakrishna, well, you have come to meet the ocean, then better carry some salt water with you when you go back home. And Sri Ramakrishna says, no, why should it be salt water? You are not the man of ignorance. Sri Ramakrishna says, why salt water? You are the ocean of knowledge. You are the Sagar of Vidya. You are Vidya Sagar. You are filled with knowledge, filled with Vidya. And then Sri Ramakrishna also cuts a joke saying that no, you are the ocean of condensed milk, not the salt. So that's how this with these pleasantries the talk started. And Sri Ramakrishna, he can't talk anything worldly. So naturally, talk straightway turned Godwards. It turned to the knowledge of Brahman. And Sri Ramakrishna started telling about how Brahman, although in this has created this creation through Prakriti. There are good things, bad things in Prakriti, there in this creation. But Brahman by itself is never affected by the good and bad. So Sri Ramakrishna says that Brahman is beyond Vidya and Avidya. Brahman is beyond knowledge and ignorance. Brahman is beyond the effect of Maya, the effect of illusion and illusion of duality. Brahman is way above. It is transcendental. It has transcended all these limitations of the Maya, of the Prakriti's creation of good and bad, righteous, unrighteous, holy and unholy, pious and sinful. Brahman is beyond that, Sri Ramakrishna says. And the peculiarity is, Sri Ramakrishna says, this creation, this world consists of the illusory duality of knowledge and ignorance. It contains knowledge and devotion, as well as it contains attachment to woman and gold. Both the extremities are there. On the one side, most positive attributes of knowledge, devotion, faith. And on the other side, extreme negative attachment to lust and greed. The attachment that creates all the havoc in the lives of human beings. So Sri Ramakrishna says the world is full of these. But Brahman is unattached to these. He says Brahman has got, it doesn't get trapped. It neither goes after knowledge and devotion and faith and doing good deeds, nor it goes after the attachment of lust and greed, the attachment of woman and gold, as Sri Ramakrishna normally refers to the Kama Kanchana. The Brahman is unaffected by it. And Sri Ramakrishna says This good and evil is, it applies only to the jivas, only to the individual soul. Brahman is way above these complexities, these contradictions, these dualities in this creation. Brahman has got nothing to do. Brahman is not at all affected by them. Righteousness, unrighteousness, holy, unholy, these are not binding Brahman in any way. And then he says that Brahman cannot be described. He said what Brahman is cannot be described. While the entire knowledge that man has gathered up to date, entire knowledge that is that we find in the Vedas, in the Upanishads, in the scriptures, in Puranas, Sri Ramakrishna says all that knowledge is, and even the 6 systems of philosophy, all that knowledge that the man has got so far, that knowledge has been defiled. That knowledge, like food that has been already touched by tongue, all this knowledge which we get from Vedas and Puranas and Upanishads, that has already been defiled. It has been spoken with tongue. But there is one thing in this entire creation which cannot be described, is Brahman. Brahman is the one. We cannot say Brahman is tall, Brahman is short, Brahman is fair, Brahman is dark. We cannot say what is Brahman like. Sri Ramakrishna says that is only to be experienced. You cannot describe Brahman in words. And Sri Ramakrishna says that is the only reality in this creation. That is the ultimate reality, which cannot be described, which cannot be expressed through words. What is Brahman? Only thing Vedas have spoken about Brahman as Brahman is Satchidananda. That Brahman is existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. And this existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute, this Anandam is only to be realized. It cannot be described. We cannot read this bliss, this Anandam element of Brahman. We cannot read through books. We cannot listen through songs or through talks or through any other means. We cannot see it by the eyes. We cannot touch this bliss with our skin. It is beyond the grasp of any of the senses that we have. All other knowledge that we have, all other knowledge that Sri Ramakrishna says that we get from the Vedas or Puranas or Upanishads or the Bhagavata or Bhagavad Gita or Bible, all that knowledge, Sri Ramakrishna says, it has been put to words with that we can only grasp through our senses. We can read it, we can hear about it, we can talk about it. That's it. That is the unreal knowledge for that matter. Maybe talking about reality, but what that ultimate real knowledge is can only be experienced, that is to be felt, that is to be realized. And that comes through enlightenment. Now, to put this fact that Brahman is beyond words, that what Brahman is cannot be described, Sri Ramakrishna now has told one beautiful story. And in fact, when Sri Ramakrishna was telling this Brahman being beyond description by words, Sri Pandit Vidyasagar, he appreciated that concept of Sri Ramakrishna to a great extent. And he says that is a remarkable statement that Brahman cannot be described in words. In fact, at one point of time, Sri Pandit Vidyasagar, he himself had given this opinion. He had said that it is indeed impossible to know him. He said to know the ultimate truth it is impossible to know and put it in the words. So he had so much appreciated Sri Ramakrishna's words on this. And now Sri Ramakrishna tells one very, very interesting and beautiful story to explain his point that how we cannot describe Brahman. So Sri Ramakrishna telling this story about a man and his two sons. Sri Ramakrishna says, a man had two sons. The father sent them to a preceptor to learn the knowledge of Brahman. Both the sons he sent to a guru to learn, to understand what Brahman is. And both the brothers, they started their education under that guru, under that enlightened guru of knowing what Brahman is. After a few years, they returned from their guru's house and bowed low before their father, wanting to know the wanting to measure the depth of their knowledge. The father asked them, well, my child, you have studied all the scriptures. First, he addressed the elder son. You have studied all the scriptures. You have studied under your great guru, the enlightened soul himself. So, tell me, what is the nature of Brahman? And this boy, he started explaining Brahman by reciting several various texts from the Vedas, various descriptions given of Brahman in the Upanishads, talking about this is Brahman, that is Brahman, what are the qualities of Brahman and all that. Great Pandit for that matter. And the father was not very much impressed. He said that no, father did not say anything. He never expressed his joy that his son knows so many things about Brahman. And then he asked the other son. He said, well, my child, what have you learnt about Brahman? And this boy, the second boy, he remained silent and just stood in front of his father, eyes cast down. There was nothing for him to speak. What Brahman is. And no words escaped his lips. The father was highly pleased and said to him, well, my child, you have understood a little of Brahman. The moment somebody asks what is Brahman and one starts blabbering the quotations from Upanishads and the Vedas, no, that is not Brahman. Once a person realizes Brahman, becomes speechless. Because Sri Ramakrishna says, Brahman cannot be expressed in words. The ultimate truth of Satchit Ananda, the Satchit Ananda has only to be experienced, has only to be realized through great illumination. That is the moment of illumination when one knows Brahman. And when that moment of illumination comes, all the senses, they stop their activities. We cannot talk. We cannot say what Brahman is. So, when we cannot talk, nobody can hear what Brahman is. It is a silent process. Just to be felt, just to be experienced, just to be realized. So that was Sri Ramakrishna's teaching of how Brahman cannot be explained, how Brahman cannot be described, how Brahman is the only reality that has not been defiled by, it is not uchishta like the food which has been partaken of by somebody else and then given to somebody else. It is the purest of the pure realization. That is the ultimate illumination. That is the ultimate. And having realized Brahman, that is the ultimate point of samadhi. And that Sri Ramakrishna has told us about this story of father and two sons, that the son who did not understand in reality what Brahman is started quoting from Upanishads and the scriptures. But the son who realized what Brahman is a little bit, he kept quiet. He was absolutely silent. No word came out of his mouth when his father asked him, what is Brahman? So that is the true nature of Brahman that Sri Ramakrishna explained to Sri Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar and other devotees present there. Incidentally, on this particular meeting, Sri M was also present, and Sri M was very close to Pandit Vidyasagar. So that was today's meeting and talk between Sri Ramakrishna, and this will continue for our next session as well. Till then, Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai Swamiji.